Several Picayune residents are voicing concerns about a mysterious creature roaming about their neighborhood. We'll take a look at what some are calling the chupacabra. Now, officials say if you can't quite tell how deep the water is, don't risk it. Right now, I'm standing in about 12 inches of water, which they say is more than enough to cause engine damage to your vehicle or even completely sweep the car off the road. For more safety tips or to check out the official MDOT evacuation guide, log on to our website, WLOX.com. The turtles were released from right here at the Pass Christian Harbor because there are plenty of oyster reefs off the shore, which are known to be their natural habitat. 3 weeks after Lepre was reported missing, her body was found right here in the wooded area of this Gaucher Cemetery. Shepherd of the Gulf will continue to find ways to reach out. And as for Rayburn, while he says he'll miss this sacred hideaway, he's made plans to stay with a friend until he can find a new home. And its future is looking as bright as ever. After all the hard work, it's time to finally hit the track.
The news for South Mississippi continues. WLOX News Weekend. Sponsored in high definition exclusively by Gardner Law Firm, the lawyer to call for bankruptcy and debt counseling.
We may still be a few days away from Halloween, but some people believe the monsters are already on the prowl in Picayune. Emily Alexander joins us now in the studio to explain. Emily.
That's right, Rebecca. I've seen several posts on Facebook the past few days from Picayune residents claiming a creature that resembles the mythical El Chupacabra is showing up all over town. I set out to discover if those rumors were true. Picayune is typically a pretty quiet town. But lately, an unwanted visitor has created quite a stir.
If a zombie had a dog, it would look like that.
Jennifer Whitfield and her son Justin spotted the mysterious creature in a lot near their home.
Well, it was just behind there. We were coming back from a boat trip, and then we didn't know what it was. Well, I didn't.
What'd you think it was?
Chupacabra.
They captured this video and posted it online. That's when they discovered they weren't the only ones to spot the animal.
And then it took off and ran around the White House.
Just a few streets over, the Dentons were already on the case.
I kept looking up hairless coyote and it kept saying chupacabra. And so then we have been running back and forth to our cars, because we didn't want the chupacabra to get us.
Did you ever think it was a chupacabra?
Well, I didn't know what it was, but then animal control couldn't find it, so maybe it was a chupacabra.
But right up the road, the Cooper family presented another possibility.
And we came out here and I could see it running over there, and I was like, look, it's over there, Daddy. And he was like, that is not a coyote, that's a Squatch dog, because he's obsessed with finding Bigfoot.
Despite their Squatch dog theory, the Coopers wanted an expert opinion, so they called the Department of Wildlife, Fisheries, and Parks.
The way they described it to me, it's a coyote, really bad off with the mange.
Officers say the coyote is in pretty poor health, but is maintaining life through garbage, pet food, and a local water source.
It's probably sick, weak, and it's not able to hunt on its own, so it's going to the nearest food source it can find.
Here behind me is a stream of water that flows through this entire neighborhood. Officers tell me they believe this is the water source that is keeping the animal alive.
So they need to be aware just to leave it alone and stay away from them and just let nature take its course.
Though the creature may not be a chupacabra, a zombie, or even a Squatch dog, the residents of this neighborhood all agree on one thing. Now, I'm not messing with that guy. Now, the legend of El Chupacabra dates back to the 1970s. The term literally translates to goat sucker because the creature is believed to have sucked the blood of goats. To date, no actual chupacabras have ever been caught, and apparently the myth will not be debunked in Picayune. Rebecca?
Very well done. Thank you, Emily.
A Picayune teenager has a reason to celebrate. The generosity of a member of his community has given him a second chance at life. Emily Alexander joins us in the studio with more.
Thanks, Christina. Jonah Stevenson was just 14 years old when he was diagnosed with chronic kidney disease. Now, 4 years later, thanks to one man's selfless gift, he's made a full recovery. 4 years ago, what was meant to be a routine trip to the doctor turned into a fight for Jonah Stevenson's life.
It just never occurred to me that at the age of 14 that we would face something like this. I just assumed he would always be healthy.
Tina Collier just thought her son had strep throat, but Jonah's skyrocketing blood pressure levels showed that something more serious was going on. So Dr. Delora Denny ordered a series of examinations.
When we got the evaluation back, it was clear that Jonah had chronic kidney disease.
Because it's a disease that doesn't typically affect young people, the doctors couldn't give a reason for Jonah's diagnosis. But the family said they didn't need to hear a medical explanation.
We've known from the beginning of this that God has a plan, and we have held on to that truth.
They decided right then and there to fight this battle together, allowing their faith to take control. They faced a number of obstacles along the way, taking the biggest hit this past January.
He had no kidney function left, and he was put in Ochsner to have a Quinton dialysis catheter placed in his chest for dialysis.
That's when the family began commuting an hour to New Orleans 3 times a week for treatment. But after years of turmoil, good news finally came in the most unexpected way.
I received a Facebook private message from Rodney Pearson. He's a member of our church. He works with the youth at First Baptist Picayune, where we attend church, and he asked me if he could give a kidney to Jonah. And I'm not quite sure how you respond to that. Of course you can give a kidney to my child.
So after a series of tests, the doctors gave the green light. And on July 24th, the transplant was complete. The family calls it an answered prayer.
God made a way every step. When things looked the darkest, he would make a way. I mean, we cannot deny it.
Today, Jonah is a happy, healthy senior in high school. He can do anything any other kid can do, under a few conditions. Following the surgery, Jonah had to wear a surgical mask to help keep germs away. So his friend Devin made him this special one with a Maroon Tide mascot on it to wear at Friday night football games. But Jonah doesn't mind. He says with his family, his friends, and his faith, he's ready to face whatever challenge may come his way. And for more information on how you can become an organ donor, log on to our website, WLOX.com. Christina?
Thank you, Emily.
Emergency crews have contained a large fire at an oil facility in Smith County, Texas. Take a look at these flames. Fire officials say they were called to a Vess Oil Corporation skimming station late last night. A couple of buildings on the property caught fire. The blaze quickly spread to nearby oil storage tanks, according to the Smith County Sheriff. He says the tanks then leaked thousands of gallons of an oil and saltwater mixture. Crews say they finally contained the blaze this morning. No injuries were reported, and the cause of the fire is not known at this point. Florida police have arrested 2 girls in connection with a bullying case that caused a 12-year-old girl to take her own life. Rebecca Sedgwick reportedly committed suicide last month in Lakewood, Florida. Police say 2 girls, a 12-year-old and a 14-year-old, have been issued felony charges in connection with the case. This after one suspect allegedly admitted online to the bullying. According to Rebecca's family, the 2 suspects sent her messages, calling her ugly and telling her to kill herself.
I hope they've learned a lesson. I hope they won't do this anymore to any other kids. I hope they get counseling, they get help. I hope their parents realize they need to be more involved with their kids and know what they're doing.
Now, authorities say the suspects had never been arrested before. They were released to the custody of their parents and are under home detention right now. We're learning more about a lawsuit filed against UPS and Birmingham Shuttlesworth Airport over the crash of Flight 1354. 3 families are claiming negligence from the airport authority, the pilots of the plane, and UPS. One family says the plane was just 10 feet above their roof before it crashed. An attorney for the families says he has evidence that the plane never should have come in for a landing that morning. He says there's a blind spot right over the crash site where pilots can't see the runway as they approach, classifying the area as a danger zone. That's a look at what's happening around the region. Back over to you.